Hey, thanks for joining me today. For those of you who do not know, my name is Whitney and I am a mental health therapist and I am also an emotional wellness coach. So, what that means is, as a mental health therapist, I see patients on an average from anywhere from 3 months to a year and a half, and we go through whatever it is that brought them to me. So, that can be depression, bipolar disorder, dysfunctional relationships, sexual abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, anything of that nature that brought a patient to me. We typically work on a problem anywhere from 6 months to a year and a half. And that's what we do, is we go in detail of the history and we bring it to the present. And then from the present, we move forward into the future. So as an emotional wellness coach, however, I am actually able to bring you the expertise and the skills that I have from a clinical standpoint as a therapist and help you reach that goal in a quicker manner, which means that I don't have to go through the entire history with you to understand that where you are right now, you're stuck in a particular area, you're dealing with a particular situation, and I can help you overcome by helping you gain the skills necessary to move emotionally forward, because our emotions are a big part of who we are. And if they aren't handled, or if we aren't able to recognize them, we can allow them to hinder us from getting to our next destination. So as a wellness coach, I'm able to get you there, and I'm able to get you there by doing any means necessary. So when you think about a football coach or a basketball coach or any type of coach or person you have in your life, their goal and their job is to help you get to your next destination by any means necessary, saying whatever they have to say, right? So there's no red tape that I have to go through when I am in a therapeutic setting. That just means that I have the expertise to bring the knowledge and bring the skills to you, because I have an education in it. I have a master's degree in it. I've been doing therapy for about 6 years now. So that's who I am. And that is the difference between a mental health therapist and an emotional wellness coach. So if you were brought here today from my post on Instagram that talks about 5 signs that you are struggling with unforgiveness, this video is to help you deal with that unforgiveness and to help you have practical points with overcoming unforgiveness, right? And so practical points, taking steps to forgiveness. So what I'm going to do now, though, is I'm going to recap my post. And I'm not going to keep you guys too long because I don't want my videos to be extremely long. I want them simple, straight, and to the point. So recap. 5 signs that you're struggling with unforgiveness. Number 1, you frequently hold grudges. What does that mean? That means that somebody makes you mad and you say, well, I ain't talking to you. You're not talking to that person for a day or two, a week or two. Some people go months and some people go years. People go years without talking to people because they want the person to know, I'm mad at you. So if you are that person who holds grudges, who does not talk to people because they've done something to hurt you or upset you, then I hate to break it to you, you struggle with unforgiveness. And that's honest. That's honest, and that's upfront, and that's straight. Number 2, you erupt in anger or you boil inside. What does that mean? That means when you see a person, they're coming to your vicinity, or you think about the person, your body has a physical reaction. That physical reaction can be your heart's racing. You start sweating. Your insides, your stomach starts to knot and feel all type of funny. That is anger, right? Or you erupt, or you see that person, or you see somebody else, not even necessarily that person, and you erupt on them, you explode on them, you are angry and you feel it, you have rage, you have hurt, you have heartache, and it turns into anger. And so if you erupt or you have any type of physical reaction to a person, that's a sign that you struggle with unforgiveness. The next thing, if you carry bitterness because somebody has done something to purposely harm you, and people do things to purposely harm you, and we don't have to stay there. We don't have to allow their hurt or their actions to keep us there. But if you carry bitterness because someone has purposely harmed you and you cannot let go of it, that means that you struggle with unforgiveness. Okay. Number 3, you isolate and you use walls. You hide behind these walls that you build up. Defense mechanisms. That's a hindrance, because what happens is people who mean you well, people who genuinely care about you, people who are genuinely concerned about you, they can't help you because you won't allow them to. You won't allow them to know what's going on. How you doing? Fine. knowing good and well that you are tore up inside, knowing good and well that somebody has hurt you, that you are upset, that you are angry. It's okay to say, I am not well. There is something going on with me, but I don't wish to talk about it right now. But when you say I'm fine or I'm good and you're not, you're hiding your emotions. You're hiding your true self, and that's a hindrance to you progressing in your life. Number 5, you have problems trusting. Anybody you come into contact with, you're questioning their motives. Oh, they always trying to get something from me. Oh, what they talking about? Are you talking to your friend, somebody say something good, and you come with the negativity? Oh, you better watch out for them, because then, listen, it's good to have caution. It's excellent to have caution. You always want to be cautious, but you do not want that to hinder you. You do not want to have a full-blown out trust issue. And you know, if you have a trust issue, if somebody's done something to you and you're thinking about that person every time somebody else comes into your life, or every time somebody does something or looks similar to the person or does something similar to that person, you associate the new person with the old person, you're struggling with unforgiveness. Okay, so now that we've talked about those, we recapped those 5 things, I want to go ahead and give you some practical steps with overcoming unforgiveness. Practical steps to work towards forgiveness. Okay, Whitney, so now I know I struggle with unforgiveness. What can I do to get over it? Number 1, acknowledge it. And that sounds so simple, but it's so hard to do. A lot of times you feel a particular way, but you haven't acknowledged it out loud. You haven't spoken it out loud. It's one thing to have the thoughts in your head, but the thing about our minds is that our minds, if we allow them to focus on a particular thing, they will keep us stuck in a particular place. And so you have to make sure you acknowledge it out loud. What does that look like? That looks like, hey, I am upset because Jared, Jack, they hurt me. They hit me. They sexually abused me. They cursed me out. They stole something from me. They manipulated me. They cheated on me. Whatever it is that they did to you, you have to admit it, and you have to admit it out loud. Get it out. Acknowledge that they hurt you. It's okay to be hurt. It's okay. A lot of times we're taught that we can't show our emotions. That's for male and female. Like, it's okay to be hurt. Acknowledge it. Okay, that's the first step. Number 2, identify what hurt you the most about the situation. And that can be kind of tricky. So what do I mean by that? I mean, are you hurt because this person actually did something to betray your trust? Or are you hurt because it's actually that person? And that may sound a little bit confusing. So let's give an example. Jack cheats on me. Am I upset that Jack cheated on me? Or am I upset that it is Jack who cheated on me? Or am I upset that I allowed him to cheat on me? You understand? There are a lot of reasons why you can be upset about a particular situation. And in the way for you to overcome it, you actually have to identify why you're actually upset. So you may know I'm upset because so-and-so cheated on me. Or you may know you're upset because I was abandoned by my father. I was abandoned by my mother. But what particular aspect of that makes you upset? It's important that you identify that. So number 1, acknowledge it. Number 2, identify what hurt you the most about that situation. Number 3, decide to move forward. That's a tough one. Okay, so you have to make the conscious decision that you are no longer going to be held by that. You're no longer going to be held by whatever offense that person did to you. You have to put it in your mind, I am going to let it go. Here's the tricky thing. A lot of times we hold on to anger because we think that it controls the other person. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm holding on to anger because I want you to know I'm mad at you. This is why I'm not talking to you, because I want you to know I'm mad at you. I don't want to talk to you. I'm still mad. You need to know I'm mad at you, and you deserve for me to be mad at you. Right? That's the mindset that keeps us in unforgiveness. That's the mindset that keeps us in bitterness and resentment. Okay? You have to make a decision that I am going to move forward. Me being angry at you only hurts myself. Use I statements. Okay? Make sure that you identify, like, listen, I have to let this go. You are choosing to hold on to the anger. So you are actually choosing to subconsciously let that person have control over you. So for the third thing, you have to make that choice to move forward, and it has to be decided by you. Only you can make that choice. I can give you techniques, I can give you skills, but until you're actually ready to let it go, you're going to hold on to it. And I would hate for you to hold on to something that's holding you back. Moving on to step 4. Action. Out of everything that I give you, the most the most important step is going to be action. You have to take action. You actually have to acknowledge it. You actually have to identify the hurt. You actually have to decide to move forward. When you do those things, you will walk in forgiveness. It is not God's best that you operate in unforgiveness and bitterness and hurt, because it only keeps you stuck in the same spot. You will find yourself going through the same cycles over and over again. Don't ask me how I know, because I've dealt with it. I've actually dealt with it, and I've actually seen it happen time and time again with my patients and my clients. So if you want to get over your unforgiveness, if you're ready to let free, if you're ready to be well, if you're ready to operate in wholeness, you just have to say, I forgive and I let it go. And that's the easiest step and the hardest step at the same time. So acknowledge it, identify what hurt you, decide to move forward, and actually move forward. It sounds so simple, but I know it's hard. But I guarantee you, if you actually do those things, you will move forward to forgiveness. So thank you for staying with me this whole time in the video. And if you want to connect with me, go ahead and connect with me on Instagram.